And so we're back. It's been 2 minutes here, but a week in real life.
Magic. That's deep magic.
We're going to talk about some of the rumors that have come up. So I got this is my book that has all of the, this has all of my mundane astrological cycles, every Mars, Jupiter, conjunction, square, opposition, what have you, from the beginning of Trump's second term to the end, because about 4 years worth of astrology, what I want to look at can fit in here. And then I've also got my new and full moons for 4 years mapped
Can I
here.
ask a question?
Yeah.
I'm so nosy, and especially
Yeah.
because you have. Do you think, like, looking at the astrology, that Elon and Trump cheated?
I have a lot to say about the possibility. Those two, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think
I can get to the shortcut on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I have to say, in the work that I do, there are times where I do have to talk about there being behavior or choices that are made that are, not scrupulous. People cheated, people lied, people stole, people did whatever. I don't personally think astrology is the best way to point a finger at somebody, but it will stop me from, it will cause me, for instance, to keep a doubt in my mind if I'm seeing something that I can't shake. So that has definitely happened. So today, though, we're going to be talking about, some of the stuff that has come out in the news recently. And I made a book for Shahem too. Do you want to show everybody your book?
It has S like my name.
Let's talk, because there's a couple of different bits of news that have come out. So Donald Trump said he's going to run for a fourth term in office, which means he's counting the year in which he lost. The first of the 2 years in which he's likely to have lost.
Cankles has dementia, so that makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Allegedly.
The cankles are alleged?
No, those are very visible.
Those are confirmed. Those are confirmed. Well, I kind of want to show you, if you open up, and I'll make sure to put this on the screen as well, take a look at the astrology, because we have it. It was at the correspondence dinner that took place, on the 24th of July. And at 10:31 p.m. Thank God for C-SPAN, because everything's got a timestamp. And so in this particular chart, we can see some, I think, very interesting components that suggest that there might have been a little bit of him going off a bit half-cocked. This would not be surprising, perhaps, to think about our current president and his tendency to maybe say things a little bit early or underdeveloped. But you'll notice in this chart a very strong and building opposition between the moon and Mars, the square between Venus and Mars. So there's this T-square. The problem with a hard aspect like what we have here between the moon and Mars, the moon is very important for us.
Wait, are we looking at the correspondence one?
Yeah, the correspondence one, that's right. So the moon becomes very important when we're trying to understand the veracity of a report, the reliability of somebody telling the truth. Are we getting, a clear understanding of something? I think this particular chart is already announcing a number of problems for his candidacy. And I would really like to believe that the constitutional amendment, which makes it impossible for him to run for a third term, will be enforced and supported by those who have taken oaths to defend it. But it's also possible that this exact same astrology suggests something else, because Mars is at 18 degrees at Gemini.
I was just about to say that the 18th degree is not a very good degree at all.
Mars at 18 Gemini, and you'll have to tell me about the degree theory component to this, because I don't know about that.
It's like known as like the evil degree. Like when somebody has like a lot of 18 degree placements in their natal chart, like that's like typically like it's associated with people who have like less ability to empathize.
I understand.
Yeah.
This is new for me, everybody. I'm only learning this for the first time. Okay. Well, the bigger thing for me is that that's right on the Mars of the United States. The United States Mars is at 21, 22 Gemini, and this is 18 Gemini when this particular announcement was made. And Uranus is only going to get closer as we move to that election toward the United States descendants. So that's going to be a bit of a mess. But why don't we take a second and focus on the prospects of this rumor that we've recently heard about Kamala and AOC being in a joint ticket with each other. Before we look at the astrology, can I just ask your opinion about that when you heard the news? What did you think?
Oh, you're trying to get me
I am.
dragged
I'm
on
just
the
going to get you right into the
internet. Oh
mud.
my God.
Yeah, you first, and then I'll
Oh,
join
you're
you.
trying to get me dragged so bad. This is so, oh my goodness. What I'll say is Kamala, love her laugh. Don't know if I want her to run again
I see.
because last time was very brutal.
It was.
AOC, you know, she's not a perfect candidate, but I do like that she would at least leave space for there to be some more progressive changes. Her transits are beautiful. Like, however, like, no, I would like to see her on a ticket. Front runner, I don't know if she would be strong enough to like pull that in this country where everybody's like racist and misogynistic.
Yeah.
And on top of a number of other things. But I would like to see her on a ticket. Kamala, whose transits aren't really looking that strong, I'll be honest. Like, I don't know. Like, and mostly because like it's been, oh God, y'all, please don't drag me. Please don't drag me. She's been a hard
on
sell.
YouTube. People are
They're gonna
nicer
drag
there.
me either way. Like, I do like Kamala for a number of reasons. I have my criticisms for a number of reasons. I think it's been a hard sell, like from the very first time she ran. She didn't even make it out the primaries.
Yeah,
gladly.
I mean, I lived in California. She was a cop. Yeah, she was a DA.
Anybody who's going to be president is a cop. Like,
yeah, that's like actually
the head of point.
That's right. Put me in my place. You're right about that. Well, you are right about that.
Yeah. So I don't really care. Like, not that I don't care about that part. It's
but that's not the
like,
differentiator for you.
Yeah. Like, everybody's going to be a cop if you're the president.
What I will say about Kamala, do you remember how much money she raised in like the first week?
Yes,
I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah.
There was so much. We were so thankful for Biden to drop out, I think. I want to kind of talk about the astrology of the election period itself connected to Kamala Harris and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. So when we think about Kamala Harris, the big component here, the big factors that she's got Saturn rising in the midheaven. That's not going to deny high position, but the really big focal point for me at the moment is the moon-sun opposition. She was born at a full moon with the moon at 27 degrees of Aries. Now in 2028, whoever wins will inherit the Aries ingress of 2028 as their astrological chart for their administration. And that chart has Saturn at exactly 27 degrees of Aries. I think, which also happens to be the descendant for Israel, for the foundation of the state of Israel.
Oh, geez.
27 degrees of Aries, within a degree or two of that.
It just keeps getting better.
So I back in 2024, I had made the point that whether or not Kamala wins, she will have a lot of issues in the 2028 election, whether she chose to run for a second term or if she was running again, she'd have issues because of her record and history with Palestine and with Israel, and that would be kind of spelled out pretty clearly there. So that particular signature, I mean, it does worry me a little bit because there's not a whole lot that really connects her astrology to the administration chart or to the election night astrology. That is not the case for AOC.
Yeah.
AOC has a very different story. So if we look at the election astrology, the full moon preceding the election, that's on the 2nd of November, that has 11 degrees of Libra rising. Right? And right at that ascendant area is Venus and Jupiter, both of them in conjunction. So you've got Libra rising, Venus and Jupiter, both in Libra on the ascendant. And if you look at AOC's midheaven, it's 6 degrees of Libra.
Yeah.
So first of all, Venus at election time in November, she's going to have a Venus transit over her midheaven to the degree.
Yeah.
And she's going to have Jupiter transiting her Mars to the degree. And I got to tell you, in a competition, you want Mars on your side. Because Mars is a planet of those who are in active competition. So a Jupiter-Mars conjunction is a very positive one. If anybody working in the DNC ends up getting, their hands on this particular recording, she should be on the ticket somewhere. I don't know if I'm ready for a 30-year-old president. She's not 30, but she's in her 30s. You know, you have to be 35 constitutionally.
I don't think she's gonna be like the headliner. I do think she's gonna be in the primaries, but I doubt that she'll probably like anybody who doesn't pick her up as a vice presidential candidate at this point,
missing the
especially
message.
Considering the rise of.
She'd be a fantastic. Could you imagine like a 2-term, for instance? Let her get a little bit of experience in the executive branch, and then turning right around and running for president. I mean, the reality is, if you take a look at the administration chart, which will be just to the left there, that you have, yep, right there. The administration chart for 2028, it's a mess. Whatever this person steps into, whoever's going to take over in 2029, in January of 2029, because that's when the president is sworn in, they're going to have to deal with a number of signatures in this chart, like the moon in Capricorn heading straight towards a square with Saturn in Aries. You know, I was going to do this from memory. Why don't I open this up? We got a Sun-Mars conjunction. This is a big deal too. Like the sun ruling the midheaven in the 5th house, especially conjunct Mars, that usually indicates that there's likely to be war within that president's time frame. And it's also possible very frequently when the 10th ruler, and it is the sun, is in the 5th house in administration charts.
Yeah.
They don't survive their terms. They might be impeached, pushed against, stepped down. I don't know what the landscape looks like for, you know, that to happen for whoever the next president is. But what we know is that astrologers for a while have been paying attention to the growing Uranus return for the United States. Every time this has happened in the U.S. has been in war. So we've got the Revolutionary War that happened in the 1700s, and then 1774, 75, 76. And then you've got the Revolutionary War, North versus the South. Civil War. And then you have World War II, and this exact signature is returning, and the heat really starts to turn up when we enter into about 2029, 2030, 2031. So whoever inherits this next administration, they've got their work cut out for them. And I think it's going to take a lot of maybe wisdom and prescience on.
What I will say, the one thing I will add is that I think the way we fought wars before is
different now.
It's different. So if anything, I think it'll be like, especially the way like so many things have shifted as far as like Aquarius placements in general. Like, I think trade wars for sure, which unfortunately Cankles has put us in already. But like whoever inherits this next administration, their main struggle is going to have to be like how we can like bring more value back to the American dollar, because the US dollar, because Cankles has tanked it like and more than they even show now. But I think the United States is basically no longer a global superpower, and I think that's going to be the biggest feat that the next administration has to deal with, how they can get us back onto the global stage in a way that is not setting us up to look very weak. Like, I mean, look at us, like we're running out of like ammunition and stuff in this like war that Israel has started with everybody in that region.
It feels to me like we're a dragon that's sacrificed a few scales on our chest.
Oh, absolutely.
We might still be a dragon, but there's a clear shot right to the heart now. And I think in the U.S. Foundation chart, there's such a strong 8th house emphasis. I always wondered about that. But when you think about how common debt and debt accrual is, personal debt, commercial debt, and the fact that the American currency is used as the reserve currency around the world, what happens when that changes? The fury that has been poured out on BRICS, for instance, for daring to move into, a different reserve currency. So there's lots for us to talk about, but Shahem, unfortunately, we have hit our time for today. No. So
my money is on Newsom and AOC.
Okay, your money's on Newsom and AOC. I need to see if Newsom's good. I think it's a good combo. And I think astrologically, I think that I need to look into Newsom a little bit further. AOC, that feels like a clear
she's in there somewhere.
She needs to be. I do think that she needs to be. So we'll see. We'll have to come back and pick this up when we get some official nominations and see what we really think then. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Yeah, great.
Thank you, Wade.